quite fresh, right? Down track or up track? So this is the body pit, right? And she was trying here. Okay.
Three. Two.
Okay, so take all the sand from the bottom. Perfect. So we have our nest, guys. Well done. So let's delete all these parts. I already wiped the tracks.
You take the GPS.
Yes, I took the GPS. I took the width of the track. TIC is quite new and quite a small NGO located in Tengah Island, which is a small island in the Johor Marine Park in the east coast of Malaysia. Our main goal is the protection of the different ecosystems and endangered species as well. So what we do is every single morning we patrol all this area, like around 7 different islands. So we check every single beach looking for turtle nests. If we find them, we bring them back to our island and we put them in our hatchery, where they're going to be protected from humans, from like all the poaching, and also from like different natural predators that they have, like crabs or monitor lizards. 45, so a little bit. We're going to keep those nests in our hatchery around like 50, 70 days, which is the incubation period for this kind of turtles. Also, you can check it as well if you want.
Two. I'll explain how to
Turtle Watch Camp, what was the name of the organization before, it came out, or it kind of like appears here, basically because the dive team discovered some turtle nests at the back of the island, and those turtle nests, they were getting poached. So they decided to kind of like build a hatchery and protect them.
26 and 30. Okay.
And so to run that hatchery, we realized we really needed one marine biologist. And then as we brought in a second marine biologist, we realized that the work we could do and could fund was beyond just a turtle hatchery. And the more scientists that came on board, we realized the more we could do, which would actually have an impact. And that basically expanded to the point where we had 4 marine biologists last year. And we created Tengah Island Conservation as a standalone, independent non-profit entity.
Tengah Island Conservation is running several projects. Coral reef monitoring is actually one of our main projects in Tengah Island Conservation. We carry out the area calculation, so we kind of like check all the boundaries of the reef, mapping all the reef to have a pretty much idea about how much is covering. And then we carry out different kinds of surveys, fish surveys and also substrate surveys. Through those surveys, we're going to collect like valuable data that is going to help us to evaluate the state of the reef, the state of the ecosystem.
One of the key things that the team do is the biodiversity monitoring, right? Data collection. So we always talk about data. And that's so important because we're then able to track and we're able to share with policymakers, local authorities, like how the biodiversity health is. And we can overlay on top of that, like what the tourism activity is. And then we know what the impacts are. So we know that if our data shows that something is destructive, then we would try and advocate to stop doing that.
And also we want to start kind of like counting the communities of fruit bats that we have in different islands. So in this case, like I think in Besar, or so far, we only know these 2 trees. So maybe we can do like facing the ocean, Caterina to the left, Caterina right, you know.
Okay.
Well, we need to try to fill out as much as possible, but not that relevant. Each group or each person must have one of these, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Write a little number on each of the coconuts.
So how many did you count, guys?
Right. We haven't done the big tree.
So the first one, you 27, 29, 28, pretty cool. We're gonna repeat that survey every month in order to collect like valuable data and to see how the population is changing like along the year. And also, since we are located in the same place that Batu Batu Resort, we are reaching all the guests of Batu Batu through turtle talks, shark talks. Also, once per week, we do like a beach cleanup where we invite all the guests of Batu Batu to join us and help us to clean the coastlines of all the islands.
This is basically what monsoon bring me, more trash. So yeah, I advise the kids, especially, to not try to pick anything sharp.
Yeah.
But we have gloves, so it's fine. But especially for this young one, yeah, try to make sure he doesn't touch anything in that.
Alright.
Okay, so we're gonna clean approximately 1 hour. We try to bring them to do beach cleanup just to open the eyes. Some of the guests that actually been here wants to do this kind of activity again. So yeah, that's kind of like a little change that we have an impact on him.
In 2018, we managed to remove around like 10 tons of trash from this island and also like from another parts of different islands. After the monsoon, everything gets completely covered in trash again. 2019, we removed 13 tons of marine debris. We clean the place, and the next year is going to show up again completely covered in trash. That's the reason because, again, the education part that Tengah Island Conservation is carrying out is super important.
They do this event called PEDAS, which is an acronym for a group of environmental related organizations. They come together and they give education to schools in Mersing.
PEDAS, technically in Malay called Pasukan Pendidik Ekologi dan Alam Sekitar, which direct translated to English, kind of like an ecological and environmental educator team.
Outreach coordinator will give a talk and activities for about 1.5 hours. The topics ranges from coral reef to sea turtles. Students take part and they understand the marine environment a lot more, and they are young children, so they understand why these environments are fragile and why we need to protect them.
We managed to get 5 schools for the first year. Untuk naik ke atas tu, orang kata spesies sea turtle yang sekarang ada. Dia ada. We expecting more and more students get involved within this year because they already experience the PEDAS sensation, you would say that.
The feedback that we are getting from the teachers and also from the students is being pretty cool. So slowly we're going to try to reach more and more schools, try to reach more students.
I think the key is creating an environment where you make people, each individual involved, feel responsible and feel some ownership over the area and make everyone want to protect it, then the NGO's job is done. When the local community are protecting their own area, then you're just scientists and you can collect the biodiversity data and so on. But there's so much outreach work to do.